Hello guys, welcome back into Rover Sports. There's some more new coaching news. The Green Bay Packers have hired Matthew LaFleur, former Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator. Matthew LaFleur has also been, he was with Sean McVay. He has Kyle Shanahan tendencies. He was the quarterback coach for Matt Ryan when Matt Ryan went on a tear, and when Matt Ryan was a guy that Matt Ryan is a guy that when he went to the Super Bowl and won the MVP, Matt LaFleur was on that staff with Kyle Shanahan. Matt LaFleur has a year of calling plays with the Tennessee Titans where he was up and down. He didn't feature Derrick Henry until the end of the season, but his concepts are very, very good. He usually bunches up the receivers a lot, which I love. LaFleur is a brilliant communicator. He is a very even-tempered guy whose personality fits in well with the Midwestern ethos of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Matt LaFleur is a guy that is very calm, very practical, and very predictable as a person. He is not an attitude. He is not going to be a guy that's going to be disloyal to the Green Bay Packers, and he will be a guy that defers to the expertise of his defensive coordinators and defers to the expertise of the managerials to get him talent. He is very easy to work with. He is extremely well liked in the coaching community, and there is not too many bad reviews about Matt LaFleur, the person. From a schematic standpoint, Matt LaFleur will bunch up the formations. He will use the running game. And for an aging Aaron Rodgers, LaFleur will be perfect for him to bounce ideas off of. He is a very collaborative guy. He is the opposite of Mike McCarthy. McCarthy is stubborn. McCarthy is very difficult to get along with. McCarthy is not flexible. LaFleur is young, flexible, and eager to learn different ideas. He's very kind, and Aaron Rodgers will excel off of play action just like Marcus Mariota had. This will be a great ground and pound running game, and Mike Pettin will be great at defense because the time of possession will be fantastic. Rodgers will be more prolific because he will be throwing less, and he'll be able to play later into his career and, knock on wood, with hopefully less injuries and less dropbacks. This hire is an A-plus hire. This guy is the nicest guy to get along with Aaron Rodgers. You're not bringing in a Josh McDaniels. A Josh McDaniels that is very fiery, that gets into fights everywhere, that has failed in Denver miserably, that didn't get along with John Elway at all, a guy who left the Colts red-handed, who robbed them in plain sight after being committed for months to Chris Ballard, and then at the altar, he just completely let them down at the altar, misled them and everything. You're not getting the person that Denver hated, that the Colts hate. You're not bringing in that fiery personality. You're also not getting a guy who's unproven. This guy has McVay. This guy has Shanahan roots. This guy is around the best. The best coaches in the land are McVay and Shanahan. And he is around them. He knows Papa Shanahan, Mike Shanahan. He knows Sean McVay. He's been in coaching for over 20 years. Just because Mike Vrabel was kind of stubborn and John Robinson aren't the easiest guys to please, and just because Marcus Mariota is not the most, shall we say, available player, he's always getting hurt. It's not like the Titans' offensive line was brilliant either. Jack Conklin, tore his ACL his rookie year, hasn't been the same. Quentin Spain's getting older. These guys are older offensive linemen other than Taylor Lewan. Derrick Henry is a one-dimensional back. Corey Davis is a good wide receiver, but he's young. Tywan Taylor's young. Delaney Walker was not even on the roster this year because he got hurt. You were trotting out guys like Luke Stoker as your tight end prospects. The Titans needed more talent at the wide receiver position. You're now pairing up this guy who has been around McVay, been around Shanahan, is mellow, kind, and nice. And you're going to let Aaron Rodgers run the relationship, and I love it. Aaron Rodgers is the type of quarterback now that has been around in a very rigid system with a complete a-hole to him, which is Mike McCarthy. McCarthy and Rodgers. Rodgers hates McCarthy. This guy is bland. This guy is a nice guy. This guy's cool. He's not a great motivator. He's not gonna lose a press conference, but I don't think he's gonna be unbelievable in a press conference. He's not gonna be Rex Ryan. He's not gonna be Chris Richard. Sean McVay can flat out win a press conference. His voice is loud, and he's an amazing leader, a great motivator. Matt Nagy and Club Dub. This guy's mild, this guy's chill, this guy's understated, but he's a wonderful person, a very creative play caller, bunches sets up, very creative, nice play caller, Sean McVay, Shanahan, West Coast offense, bunch sets, running the football. Love him. My guy Jet Central loves this pick. I think it's an A+ hire. I think it's exactly the guy I would have hired for the job. Offensive-minded. Mike Patton's right there. Packers are going to be good. Going to be good. A+ hire. And bottom line is Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback. The coach doesn't need to do that much over there. Aaron Rodgers is fantastic. One of the best quarterbacks of all time. Let's see him get another Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, so talented. Aaron Rodgers can read defenses. A-Rod will be fun for LaFleur to work with. LaFleur's mellow. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't get along with Matty LaFleur, it's an Aaron Rodgers problem. So for Aaron now, it's up to you, man, to love Matty LaFleur. It's also up to the guys in it's also up to Josh Rosen to like Cliff, because Cliff's a pretty easy guy to get along with unless you're Baker Mayfield and he doesn't let you go to your dream school, and he also benches you in the middle of the year. So that's why he didn't like Cliff Kingsbury. But anyhow, the other coaching news this week that came out was the Buccaneers. They are assembling a staff. And here's the point about Bruce Arians. They hire Bruce Arians. Arians, a Temple coach. He was the quarterback's coach for Big Ben, for Peyton Manning in Indianapolis. He then got a chance to be the interim coach in Indy. He was absolutely brilliant when Andrew Luck won 11-5. They ended up firing Chuck Pagano. He was better than Chuck Pagano. Chuck Pagano had cancer. But they gave Chuck the job back because Chuck was he is a wonderful person, Pagano, and he overfought the cancer, and again that was great. And then Bruce Arians though went out to Arizona, and he was awesome with Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer, a very talented quarterback, an upper echelon, pretty damn good career Carson Palmer had. He was able to get Arizona to the NFC Championship. He was able to win a couple of playoff games. He was able to make them appear in the postseason. He was very successful with Arizona. But this guy's older. His health is okay. Luckily, we knock on wood for BA. Bruce Arians is a guy that's been around the NFL game. He knows everything about the NFL game. Will he be able to help out Jameis Winston? I believe so. He likes Jameis Winston as a quarterback, and I think that it's a great pairing with Jameis Winston. Mike Evans is down there. Ronald Jones is down there. They have a good offensive line full of good guards and good tackles. I think that they have Donovan Smith from Syracuse, who's a good player. They have Ali Marpet, who is from a small school in New York that is a Division III guy who's done very well for himself. So defensively, they need a lot of help, but Bruce Arians is bringing in a very good defensive mind. I'm not saying this guy was a great head coach, but this guy knows how to coach defense, and the Jets' defenses were pretty good under this guy's tutelage. The guy that he's going to be hiring is Todd Bowles to come with him, a guy that worked really well with Bruce Arians in Arizona. Also, Byron Leftwich is a guy that he also is very comfortable working with. So Byron Leftwich will be a guy that will be working with Bruce Arians. The way I look at this hire, The more I think about this hire, the more I like it. At first, I was skeptical. I'm skeptical because Bruce Arians is a little bit older. So this is only going to be for about 4 or 5 years, knock on wood, hopefully longer. Assuming the health situation. Bruce Arians has also been outside of the NFL for quite some time, but this is a small market job. It's very close to his home. He loves to vacation in the South. That's his favorite place to vacation. And living in Tampa, Florida, it's a very good quality of life for the Arian family. And I think it's a good fit. I think Jason Licht will like Arians. It's a good offensive coach. I'll give the hire, though. I don't think it's going to be a home run hire, but I'm going to give it a B hire because I again, like this hire. It's a B to a B+. It's kind of the same as Cliff. I think Cliff has a lot more red flags, but that's a lot harder job. I think Tampa Bay is in a very difficult division, but I think you have great talent. I think Jameis Winston will benefit a lot from Bruce Arians, and I definitely have no qualms with the hire at all. I think it's actually a very good one. I think bringing along Todd Bowles makes it a brilliant, brilliant hire. I think that is huge. That elevates it from about a C to about a B+ or a B. Byron Leftwich coming along will get along with Winston and the staff. You have Mike Evans, and then you're bringing in structure. You know, you went from Greg Schiano, then you went to a very young coach in Dirk Cutter. So now you're bringing in a guy who's very experienced down there in Tampa, Florida, to give the Buccaneers kind of some, you give the Buccaneers some semblance of organization and semblance of respect in the NFC South. So you're going to go ahead and do that. Jameis will benefit from this guy a lot. Bruce Arians is a great play caller, and he knows how to coach football. And he's also a wonderful person. I want to congratulate Bruce Arians and his family on getting the Tampa Bay job. I think it's a really well done job by Tampa Bay. The last coaching search is open, and it's looking like Chris Richard is going to be out of Dallas. I'm disappointed he's going to take the Miami job. Miami has the worst structure in the NFL, pretty much the worst fan base because there's everything to do in Miami but go to football games. You can go boating, you can go fishing, you can play golf, you can play tennis, you're always outside, you can go in Miami and party, and the players are often distracted by all of that. That's why Nick Saban had a lot of issues in Miami getting his culture established because that plays the Bermuda Triangle for coaches. It does have some good secondary pieces, but you have no quarterback, you have no offensive coordinator, and Richard will be put in a very difficult position to succeed. I think that Tampa Bay is a more, I like the environment in Tampa more than I like Miami Dolphins. Fact is, I love Richard as a candidate. I think he can do better than Miami Dolphins, though. I think he can go to Baltimore next year and be brilliant and bring the Ravens back. I also think Richard could possibly go to Cincinnati and bring that culture and that style. I think he can go to Denver, and Denver has a great fan base, great people out there. And Miami, but for the Dolphins, it's going to be a big-time hire. It might make me personally have to root for the Dolphins a lot more than I've ever have. So with that being said, it looks like Chris Richard is going to end up in Miami. In Cleveland, Freddie Kitchens better be the guy. That's the bottom freaking line because, Frederick is a guy that got along with Baker Mayfield at an extremely high clip. Kevin Stefanski will come in as OC. I like the move a lot. Don't rock the boat. Keep the guys in-house. Greg Williams, maybe he'll come back as a defensive coordinator, but Greg is most likely gone, and Dorsey didn't love what Greg Williams did defensively. But then with that being said, Freddie Kitchens and Baker get along well. Baker loves Freddie, and that's all that matters is offensive scheme. Freddie Kitchens also understands Cleveland, and John Dorsey will certainly have all the power in the decision-making room with Freddie Kitchens, who won't rock the boat whatsoever. Freddie Kitchens is the most mild-mannered guy, a southern, respectful, easygoing personality. So John Dorsey will be able to, John Dorsey's an ego, and John Dorsey needs power. So Dorsey will have all the power he needs with a mellow coach such as Frederick Kitchens. Instead of having like McCarthy, instead of having a guy like Dan Campbell, those guys are rock the boat kind of guys, big motivators, very loud. This marriage might be better between John Dorsey, who is very loud, polarizing, and Freddie Kitchens, who's very mild, chill. And I think that the Browns and their current team respects Mr. Kitchens. So beforehand, the news should probably be tomorrow. If it's not Freddie Kitchens, if for some reason it's not Freddie, it will be a very disappointing move by the Cleveland Browns in any capacity. If it's Stefanski, it would be one of the worst decisions the Browns could have ever made. So I'm really hoping it's Freddie. I think that'll be a great decision. I like what these teams are doing. I really do. I like that they're going after offensive minds. Even the Dolphins hire, I think, is an A hire. I think it's one of the most difficult jobs in the NFL, but Richard is one of my top candidates. We'll see what the Jets do. I would hire Todd Monken. He's a really good offensive mind, and he was great with Tampa Bay. He will be great for Sam Darnold. I like Monken better than I like McCarthy. Monken is able to relate to his players, and Monken will collaborate with Sam Darnold in a brilliant, brilliant way. So that's how I see the Jets going. I liked Monken for a while. It looks like Richard is going to be gone, so I think it's going to be down to Todd Monken, to Mike McCarthy, and Matt Rule. So decent candidates there, but I would go Monken for sure. Monken, then Rule, then I would go McCarthy last. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching the show. Take care, guys. Have a great night. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you for watching the video.